Hey YouTube, how's it going? Um, I am coming on today because I wanted to do a video about the life class, Oprah's life class today, and this one was one that I really wanted to watch. I think this one and the very first one with the ego were two that I was very interested in. This one because so many people do have issues with holding on to the past, and primarily because just some interactions in my life in the last week or so kind of brought up a lot of things for me that has happened in my past that, I think I have since moved on from and was able to let go. However, just, resharing them again with someone just kind of, brought them all to the forefront. And let me say that I think in the last maybe 2.5, 3 weeks, I have been addressing a lot of personal insecurities in my life. I think that we would be liars to say that, you live an insecure free life. I mean, there's always something that you may not be confident about, or you may not be sure about, that, could use some work. And I have been doing a pretty good job identifying them and trying to move past them and, and go to a higher level of being, in as it relates to those insecurities and just myself in general. One thing I have taken away from Oprah's life class, and I think a really big aha moment, and this is the second time that I got this, being as what she would call it, is the responsibility of the energy that you bring into a space. And just this morning, because I'm not a morning person, generally I'm a little bit crabby in the mornings, but this morning, right before I walked into the office, that crossed my mind. Be responsible for the energy that you're bringing. So I know that it was, kind of like my guides and my angel guides, reminding me that I need to be responsible for the energy that I bring, because it's a mirror. It's a mirror reflection of what you put out. With that said, again, today's life class was about holding on to the past, and some key things that was said was just, if you step out of the past and the history of what happened to you, you be able to move past it. And that really struck with me, because you do have to get outside of the thing and kind of look down at it, kind of look down on your past and your history, and take like a perspective look at it, and not feel the emotion so much, but look at what it taught you, or look at the lesson that it brought to you, in order for you to move past it. One thing I would share is that I've always held on to why an ex or why a relationship didn't work out for me. And what I know now is that in this time that I'm in right now, every single relationship that I have experienced in my life up until this point was preparation for what is to come. And I say that because I view myself as a wife already, and I think there's a difference between being a girlfriend currently and being a wife, even though you're not married. Women who are wives are ready to be chosen by the man who sees them as their wife. So I think that those experiences, those relationships that I had, created the layers and of me, and or the fabric of my makeup, you know, of my womanly quilt, if you will, to bring me to where I am today, in a place where I wholeheartedly believe I've been chosen to present all of that, you know, to the person who will be my husband. So that was big. You have to step outside of the past and outside of your history and take a look at it prospectively and figure out what the lesson was. What did you learn from it? What did you gain? Because it's not all bad. It may have felt bad, and I'll be the first to tell you it may have felt bad, but it's not all bad when you look at it in the grand scheme of things. Another thing that really struck with me was that anytime you try to hold on to the past, it will show up in every area of your life. That was so true. When you hold on to something, it will show up, whether it's by sickness, whether it's through your work, you know, whether it's through other relationships. And the key reason why I believe that is because of karma. I believe, you know, in the law of reciprocity. So, you know, what you put out in the universe, you'll get back into the universe. And so if you hold on to that past energy, that negative energy that's contained in the past, that, you know, that you can't let go of, it'll remanifest, you know, itself in your life in the form of, you know, something else. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to hold on to that. You want to be able to let that go. And then the last point, no, the second to last thing that stood out for me was that our bodies are not personalities, or we are not bodies and personalities. We are souls. And that is another thing that I totally agree with and totally believe, is that, you know, we are so much more than what we see. You know, when you see walking down the street, or what you even see looking at this video, I'm so much more than that, because I am this soul that chose to come through in this body. And the lessons that I have to give and the lessons that I will receive is so much greater than judging someone by what the personality is, or even, like she said, grieving someone who has passed on to the next realm, and not being able to see what they brought for you or brought to you, and let that go. And that kind of is a segue into the last point that really stood out for me, was that when you lose someone in physical form, the formless portion of them becomes an angel that you know. And I'll share with you why this resonates with me. I've never met my grandmother, my paternal grandmother. She passed away. Let me take that back. I have met my paternal grandmother. However, I was too young to remember her. I was only about 1 year old when she passed away. And I always wonder, you know, what course my life would have taken had she been alive today. You know, what type of person would I be if she had been alive today? And sometimes I used to get so caught up in that it would just bring me directly to tears, because it's like I felt like I missed out on having, you know, a grandmother, when in fact she's still there. She's still here with me, as in the form of an angel in my life. And who I am today is exactly who I would have been had she been alive, because she's still guiding me. She's still here giving me that same direction in life, and I believe that. And so she is an angel, you know, of someone. She's an angel that I know. And I use angel loosely because I do believe also, without going, you know, to the whole, well, I guess it's a spiritual thing. It's not a religion thing because I don't subscribe to religion, but I believe that, you know, there are, you know, our ancestors or our relatives that have passed on to the next realm are our guides, and there are angels, you know, divinely created angels that are here to work for us. I do believe that also. So I use angel loosely, in the sense that, you know, she is a relative that has gone on before me. And another person that I look to as an angel that I know is my uncle. My uncle was murdered in 2005 in Detroit, at his home. And that still, you know, it depends on what it is, what the subject is, on how sensitive I can be about that. But and when it all happened, it hit me so hard. It struck me so hard because I worked every day with my uncle in his business. I worked with him every day, and on the last day that he even lived on this earth, I was one of the last people to see him because I was the last person to leave the office before his death. So that really had a tremendous impact on me. It had a tremendous impact on my cousin, who was his son, because my cousin and I are super close, and it had a tremendous impact on our relationship. And but when I took a step back and looked at the gift and the wisdom that was imparted even without words, because my uncle wasn't, he didn't speak for nothing, you know. He when he spoke to me, it was on purpose. It wasn't like we just sat down and shot the breeze. Never. And I didn't grow up really around him, knowing him, so it wasn't until I became an adult that I even got to know him. But the imparted wisdom that was unspoken, and the knowledge that I gained from even just working with him is just like, that is a gift that I can't even put into words. I can't. And I know that in this world, for me, that he's still around. His spirit, his soul is still around me to this day, because just like today, you know, it said, you know, when I heard that voice, that whisper that said, be responsible for your energy, you know. That may not have been something he necessarily would say, because absolutely he would have not said it like that. He would have probably used a few explicatives in that. In telling me to do anything, he would have used a few choice words. But just those little things let me know that, you know, those souls, those spirits are still surrounding me. So to bring it, you know, full circle, you know, holding on to your past can do so much more damage than it would do if you just let it go. And I know that sounds way easier said than done. I know it does. But when you can get to the point to where you want to be responsible for how you live, because the person you hold, you know, the person that you're holding on to, or, you know, the issue that you're holding on to may not even be affecting the other person. Or if they've passed away, they're not even here, you know, anymore. Or, you know, if it's a job, it's gone. It's already, they already moved on to the next applicant in the applicant pool. It's not even affecting them. It's only affecting you. So if you can move past that, because you have to care about you, then you'll be a lot better off. And what people say is easier said than done actually becomes easy. It becomes easy to let it go because you have to care more about yourself and how you live and let it go than it is to, you know, hold on to this forever. I'm not a grudge holder. I've said that, you know, before, and you know, and I'm just not a grudge holder. So with that being said, I'm going to let this video go because it's past the 15 minutes. And, you know, even though I watch folks past 15 minutes, I don't know if anybody wants to watch me past 15 minutes. But if you watch this far, then you already have. And I appreciate you. I welcome you to ask me anything. I welcome you to watch any other of my any other videos that I have posted thus far. And I'm gonna go and do some homework now. No, I'm not in school. I'm in a training. So with that said, I bid you adieu, YouTube, and I'll see you the next time. Peace.